SpongeBob SquarePants. What comes to mind when you hear his name? Maybe his crazy laugh, his really, really bad driving skills, or maybe even his famous quote, "I'm ready, I'm ready." SpongeBob was one of the characters who made millions of people's childhoods. However, his humor isn't the only thing that makes him a wonderful sea creature. And that is why today I will be talking about SpongeBob SquarePants and his superb qualities. Almost everyone recognizes SpongeBob, but as silly and childish, and people fail to realize that he has traits that makes him a wonderful role model. I've been watching SpongeBob since the age of 4, and I feel like I have a bond with this character through his humor and traits that I will talk about today. SpongeBob has many traits that should be acknowledged and celebrated, 4 of them being that he's a loyal friend, he's a hard worker who's committed to his job, he has infectious positivity, and he is the perfect role model for the phrase, "be yourself." So without further ado, let's dive a little deeper into our first point, which is SpongeBob is a loyal friend. Him and his best friend Patrick Star have an unbreakable bond. They've been best friends since they were born. In the episodes SB129, Ugh, and Pest of the West, their friendship has dated back to their ancestors and passed down to their descendants. Although SpongeBob and Patrick have rough patches, they still remain the best of friends. In the episode Life of Crime, they accidentally pop a balloon that they thought that they borrowed. Patrick blames SpongeBob the whole episode for popping the balloon and supposedly eating his chocolate. But in the end, they don't let their arguments get in the way of their friendship. SpongeBob also maintains friendships with Sandy, Squidward, his snail Gary, and Mr. Krabs. And speaking of Mr. Krabs, let's get into my next point. SpongeBob is a hard worker who's committed to his job. He's been working at the Krusty Krab since 1999, which is when SpongeBob first aired. That's almost 22 years, and that's longer than I've been alive. According to thebalancedcareers.com, in an article titled, "How long should an employee stay at a job?" the median number of years that wage and salary workers have worked for their current employer is 4.6 years. SpongeBob has worked more than 5 times the statistic at the Krusty Krab. SpongeBob has even been a model for employee engagement due to his expertise and love for his company. One of the reasons that SpongeBob thrives at his fry cook job is his positivity, which is what I'd like to get to next. SpongeBob has infectious positivity. In a 2019 article from CNN titled "SpongeBob and the 7 Life Lessons He Taught a Generation," Chamel lists "Find positivity in everything you do" as a key life lesson SpongeBob has taught us. Although he has grumpy friends like Squidward, he never fails to keep a smile on his face. I also encourage you to check this article out because it also highlights more of SpongeBob's wonderful traits. Positivity is a key aspect of his personality, so much so that there was a SpongeBob Day of Positivity in 2015. It prompted fans to post positive photos and share their favorite positive messages from SpongeBob. Lastly, I want to talk about how he is the perfect role model for the phrase, "be yourself." SpongeBob has always been his authentic self, and when he isn't, his friends barely recognize him. He teaches kids that it's okay to be a little weird, and you don't have to hang out with the cool kids to be cool. He's comfortable in his own skin and proud of being him. As a kid who didn't fit into the cool crowd myself, I'm glad that I had a role model like SpongeBob that inspired me to embrace my weirdness and my humor. So, we've all talked about these traits, and they may not be seen at first glance, but now that you see them, you can see SpongeBob as a role model. So let's recap those traits. SpongeBob is a loyal friend. SpongeBob is a hard worker who's committed to his job. SpongeBob has infectious positivity. And lastly, SpongeBob is the perfect role model for the phrase, "be yourself." Now, whenever you think of who lives in a pineapple under the sea, you'll not just see SpongeBob as a silly yellow sponge. You'll see a great role model with lessons to teach all ages. Thank you.